Hello and welcome to Live Web on Call and Chat Support System Part 10. I am Kamran Majdani, and in this video we are going to complete our Firebase user session. But before continuing, I would like to request, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe and click the bell icon so that you can receive the latest updates. And if you have not liked or followed the WatchMeCode Facebook page session, then please like it and follow it. And don't forget to share it with your friends who are willing to learn React.js, especially the front end and kind of native apps. Let's go back to Zoom Live, and we have left on the user sign up form where we were able to enter the full name, email, question, and then we need to move on to Firebase. Let me repeat before I continue. Let's enter my name, that is Kamran Majdani, and email address, that is kamran.majdani@gmail.com. and if I enter the question like, hey there, oops, I need help, it is a chat. Now click continue, and now we are getting the loading screen, and now we need to move on from this point. We need to sign up the user with the email to Firebase. So let me open the Firebase console. Oh, I guess it is already open. And let me quickly move it to the separate window and add a project. See all projects, or I guess I should create a separate console.firebase.google.com. and I have a Zoom Live project right here. And if you have not created the project, then create one. And now I need to integrate it right inside my front end, and here is the Firebase configuration, and inside the base, I guess. Okay, great, we have the fire variable inside our Zeus constant, and we have great, we have initiated the Firebase, and we have initiated the Firebase database, and we have new fingerprint and all that. Great. Now we need to call the Firebase JavaScript method that is sign in with email and password. Let me do it quickly. And if I go to base, and I guess I have added get component, choose toast, cover, and inside the core.js, I guess I have not included. Okay, let's create a method to do just live. Okay, let's call the method that is inside the board box, and we are setting the state right here inside the start session method. And we need to call the callback method, and inside the method let's call firebase.auth dot sign in with email and password, and we need to enter the email, and that is self.email, and actually the value should be come from self.state.email. Let's add it, self.state.email, and we need a password, but instead of using the plain text, we should at least MD5 it, and I already have a MD5 method right inside our base, and we need to call that MD5, and I guess we should create a unique password by calling or using the self.state.email. self.state.email, and right after that we need to call the then method, because as you know the Firebase is promise based. Firebase actually uses the promise based methods, and let's call .then, and if you are confused or new to the promise methods, I will create a separate tutorial for that, but you can of course Google it and go to Mozilla's documentation. Let me do it quickly. We should, if you want to search the Google for promise based methods, so just simply type ES6 promise, and it will show you the promise JavaScript MDN, and simply move, and here you can create your own promises. The thing is, we are using the Firebase library, and Firebase is doing that for me, so why should I create one? Well, let's move back to then method, and as you know the promise then method is called when the promise does not raise any error. So let me call then, and let's create a anonymous function or method, and inside let's create a console.log, and let's call you are signing, and we need to call the catch, and the catch is triggered whenever there is an error, and we need to call error, and the error should be checked because there are a couple of sign in with email password error codes, we need to check if error.code equals auth/user dash not dash found. We should call firebase.auth dot create user with email and password. And once again, let's use self.stay.email and simply hash the password as self.stay.email. Great. And we need to call the then method once again and the catch as well. And we need to call, or let me copy it quickly and paste here. And in the error, let's use the console.log e. Let's save it. And okay, let's move on and go back to our domain and reload. And inside the Firebase app, we should, hey Stephen, I am unable to understand whether you're typing, because I guess it is not the English exactly. Let me use the Google Translate, because whenever you are stuck with language barriers, Google is your friend. And detect language. Oh, hi, how are you? And I am good, thanks. And let me copy, and hooray, now I know the German. Great. Okay, back to the video, and we need to go to Cloud One App, those live one apps. Develop database, and we need to create one. Actually, as we are using the authentication method, so we need to move to authentication. We will go back to database later. And you need to set up the sign-in method, because without setting up the sign-in or sign-up method or authentication method, your code won't work. Let's check real quickly, and click and enter your name, that is Cameron Midani, your email, hello there, and click continue. And of course you are having errors, and the error is because I am not enabling the sign-in providers or sign-in method inside the authentication. So let me do it quickly. Click on the email password, click enable, and you don't need to actually enable the passwordless sign-in. Let's save. And if I go back to our domain, it should work now, but I guess I should update this state as well, like loading to false, and oops, I need to move this to, yeah, great. Let's go back and reload. And if I click one more time, and let me enter my name, and we need to enter the email address as well. Let's check. Hello, and click continue, and it is calling me you are signed in. Great, we are logged in with Firebase. And thing is, I have copied or pasted the self-loading false to wrong. It need to I guess we should keep right here, and I guess we should add here as well, because if somehow the error.code is not used dash not found, then we are stuck on the loading. Great. And I need to add. Okay, let's go back and reload. And as we are already logged in, if I go to users, and now we have a user with Cameron, with Danny and Gmail, and the providers is email, of course, created last sign in, and here we have the user UID. And if we are oh yeah, we are getting the method. Great, we are logged in with Firebase. And as you know, this message is right inside on auth state changed. And now we need to create a table to store the user info. And for that I need to add those.me is true, and we need to add as you know, I have those.me, and it is stored right inside those.me information, that is fingerprint, user agent, language, resolution, and all that. And for Zeus.me should be something like Zeus.fire.me equals Zeus.fire.db, and as you know, we are assigning the Firebase database to Zeus.fire.db dot ref, and inside the ref we need to add users slash plus user.uid. And for users table, if we quickly go to database, and inside the database, here we are. Oops. Okay, I'm here, and inside the database we need to add. Okay, I need to create the database, and instead of Firestore I should let's use real-time database. Click start in log mode, click enabled, and inside the database go to rules, and inside the rules we will change the rules, and let's add a users, and inside the users we need to add $UID, and UID should be the, if we need to add a read, let's add auth not equals to null, and auth.uid equals $UID, and we should copy same or duplicate it and call write. Great, now we have the rules ready. let's click publish, and if it says rules publish, it means the rules are good and we don't have any error. So let's go back to our code, and inside our code we need to update the, let's call those fire.main.update, and we need to update the object, that is u type should be user, and name should be self.state.name, and email should be self.state.email, and we need to add fingerprint and the fingerprint should be those.me.fingerprint, and we need to add one more thing, and that is user_agent, and I guess we should use UA, that is user.me.user_agent. We need to add a language, that is me.language, and we need to add a resolution, that is me.resolution, and we need to track the user current page, that is window.location.header and let's add online state to true, and we need to add last online to get time, and as you know, the get time is inside the base. Oops, I have not created it yet, and if I have not, let me check quickly. Oh, I forgot that. Well, let's go to base and get time. No, it's not there. Okay, let me create it, and it should be const get time, and we need to return the Unix timestamp, that is math.round and date.now divided by 1000. Save it, go back to core, and we are last online, we are updating it, and for now we are good to go. And we need to add one more thing, that is those.fire.me.onDisconnect, and we need to update the online state should be false, and last online should be get time. Save it, and let's go back to our domain and reload, and if you reload and you are cannot read property name of undefined. Okay, we forgot to save the full name, email and question inside the local storage. Let's do it quickly, and I need to create two methods, and that is ta-da. Okay, we need to create one more method, and that is const set cookie, and we need a couple of parameters, that is name, value and expiry, And for now, instead of using the cookie, we should check for if local storage, oops, bad luck with my caps lock storage in window. Then we have the local storage available, and we will use cookie. And we need to create the or use the local storage. Let's check local storage in window. Great, let's use local storage, and we have set item, and as you are watching, we have key and value. So let's use local storage dot set item, and we need to add name and value. We need to create one more method, get cookie, and we need to call the same method. For now, we will add the cookie thing later. Get item, and we need to check for the default value it is returning if the item is not set. Let's use underscore, and it is calling the null. So we should check for what underscore equal local storage get item name and we should return null equals underscore. Should we, okay, let's use a default, or we should use, well, use underscore. So we should be returning the default value. If the local storage get item is null, we should return underscore, otherwise we will return underscore. Let's save it, go back to core, and inside the core we should be using, oops, I need to set first thing first, and that is, let's use set cookie, and for now let's add underscore name, or let's use the underscore prefix underscore name, or use nm for cell.state.name, and we need to store the email, and we need to store the question as well. Let's call it question, and we need to add self.state.email, and let's use the let's use get cookie, that is underscore nm, and the default value should be unknown, and for email we should be using the same. And let's use m for email, and email should be unknown, or we should use unknown plus, let's use unknown for now, at those dot host. Great, let's save it, and if we reload, now we should not get the error. Great. Now if we go to database and click on data, now we should get the user table, and inside the users we have email, that is unknown, address.host, fingerprint, href, language alas online, name is unknown, online state, resolution is 1360 by 768, and user agent, and the U type is user. Great, now we are signed in, but we need to override the default values. For that we should call firebase.auth.signout. Great, you are a guest. And let me go to database and remove the entry, and let's reload. Click, and now we are we should enter Kamran with Danny and email. Hello there, if it is working. Great. Now click on continue, and you are signed in. Great, we are logged in with Firebase. If we go back to our live database, now we have the email, we have, oops, the name is undefined. Why it is undefined? Get cookie underscore nm. I guess we are storing the name self.state.name. Oops, it is full name, my bad. Let's save it, and now we need to call or perform two actions, and that is firebase.auth.signout, and we need to go to application, local storage, click, and we need to remove underscore those nmqr source mode nm those db. Oops, there are a lot. Okay, now we need to switch to the support box, and we need to switch to a couple of session is false, and we are returning if self-service session, and we will be using, if we quickly go to your sign in, loading false and session is true. Great, and we need to paste right here as well, and we need to add a support box, and we need to call this session somehow. Let's go back to domain and reload, and let me remove the entry one more time. Click, and we need to enter the name, hello there, oops, my bad, and click continue, and now we are just signed in. Great. Now if we go back to real-time database, we have name perfect, email perfect, and we have the fingerprint, and you should be checking if your fingerprint is unique, because the fingerprint is being generated automatically from your browser. This way we are actually tracking the unique user. Now if we go to our domain and reload, we have a slight problem that by default we need to check if the support box is opened or closed. So if the user has opened the support box and he or she somehow reloads, we need to show the support box instead of annoying the user by showing the action buttons. So if we go back to all those action buttons and instead show, we need to add set cookie, and let's use name underscore and call it well, let's use box, and value should be, let's use ONI, O for open. I guess we should use those prefix those box, and the expiry should be something like 10. Copy, and inside the hide we should be using hidden, and the value should be h. You can use 0 or 1 as well, or true or false. It depends totally on you, but as we are targeting or to our functionality, so let's finish it. And inside these live action buttons, and in it we need to call this dot show, and we need to call start inbox, and that is dialog mode. Okay, we need to call start inbox by passing the mode to 1 if we are already logged in. Let's go to init, and we need to check war is logged in equals get cookie, and the value should be those underscore box, and the default value should be hide. So we should check is logged in, oops, that is logged in equals h. Then we should use this dot show, otherwise we should use start dot inbox by passing 1. Let's save it, go and reload, and we have our box hidden by default because we don't have the Zeus box inside our application local storage. Click, and now if I reload, the box should be shown. Oops, it's not there. Let me check. Oops, the Zeus box is O, and let's check instead of is logged in, let's use box underscore box, and let's console.log underscore box. Save, and let's reload and check. Oops, it is O. Now we need to check for underscore box equals h, this dot show, and start inbox should be this dot start inbox. Save, and let's reload, and now we have our box right here. Let's click on close, and inside the application we have this box O. Why it is O? It should be inside the Zeus support box. This dot props dot show, and let's use hidden. Save and reload. Close, and we have this box O. Why it is not updating? Set cookie, this box. Ta-da! Click. Oh, let me remove the H inside the hide, and instead of show, let's remove it, and let's check by removing it from the local storage and reload. And if I click, we have click on the button, and we need to move the support box H inside component mount should be O, and on hide we should be updating it to hide. So I guess we don't have. Great. Now let's reload it. And now I don't have these box. If I click, now we have those box and the value is O, and if I click on close, the value is H. Now if I reload, we have the action buttons, and if I open the box and reload, now we should have the support box. Oh great, it is working. Perfect. And now we need to check if we are already logged in. Great, we are logged in. We need to update. We are here to help to our messenger, and we need to add update somehow this session to false and switch back to true while updating the user state. And we need to call, let's go back to base, and inside the base and this we should call the global, and inside the global we should be storing a couple of methods, and inside the support box let's add component will mount and add those dot global dot set session equals and let's add war self equal this. What the hell? War self dot, hey, oops, what is going on? Okay, let's use self dot, or why not, we should use a separate method and call it set session, and let's add this dot set state, and that is session equal mode, and inside the constructor let's add this dot set session dot this dot set session dot bind this. Great. Now we need to call self dot set session, and mode should be mode, and let's pass down the mode. Let's save it, and inside the update method we should be calling those dot global dot set session, and mode should be true, and we should be calling mode equals false. Save, and if we go back to domain and reload, cannot read property bind of undefined. Why? this dot set session equals this dot set session dot bind this, and we should be using, hold on, let's go to and we need to go to those demos, and inside should we why what I am doing wrong right here. This dot set session equals this dot set session dot bind this, and inside do we have set session? Yeah, and we have new mode, and what the cannot read point of undefined. Oh, it is triple S, my bad. Let's reload. And now you are seeing the messenger. Let's reload, and instead of the name we should be using the loading, and add loading to true, and inside the set session loading should be false. Save it and reload, and we have loading to false, but we need to change the CSS for cover. We need to go to cover, and we should be using the perfect white background. Let's reload it. Great. Now if I sign out of Firebase, this board box should be switched to sign in thing. Great. Now let's go to application, local storage, and let's remove nmqst, those box, and we need to update the prefix this, and inside we need to switch to those. Save. Let's reload, and it should work perfectly. Click, and we need to update this.global.set session. Okay, inside of those live action buttons, in it we need to call this dot show, and we should be calling start inbox, and inside of stored box component will mount, and let's add this show, and show should be calling this dot set state, and loading should be false. Save. Let's reload it. Let's close the box, reload one more time, and now if I click, we have the loading gone. And now we need to remove the functions. Source.global.set session is 267. We need to call those.global.set session and those.global.set session. Let's reload it, and the error should be gone. Great. Now let me add Cameron with Danny one more time. cameronwithdani@gmail.com. Hello there, this is my question. Click continue, and now we are switched to our messenger. Great. And this is it for this video, and in this video we have connected the Firebase database, and we have switched our state from logged in to logged out as a guest, and we have logged back in, and we have set up the real-time database rules for our users, and you can check the progress on demos.zoos.host/zooslive. And before leaving, I would like to request, if you have not subscribed to WatchMeCode YouTube channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon. And if you have not liked or followed the WatchMeCode Facebook page, then please like and share it with your friends. And great. Goodbye.